Well, I just came out of the shower and this is what I saw. Yep, I'm not going to do any hike today, I don't think. Maybe I will, I don't know. I need to get my shower early because I forgot that I'm working tonight. And the bad news about working is that I need to do laundry now. The good news about working is that I'm working a block away, so I can just walk there. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna take Jaw out for a little bit of a walk while the laundry's in and figure out what I'm gonna do today. I'm kind of thinking about doing a live chat. Plus, I really gotta post that stuff on eBay. I gotta get stuff out of my apartment. I don't know what's wrong with me, why I haven't done it yet. Well, like I've told you guys before, this guy loves his laundry. He loves it. One of his all-time favorite things is hopping in that warm laundry right out of the dryer. He loves it. Well, I figured out what I want to do today. I think I'm going to go over to Larchmont and I'm going to see the one of the filming locations for one of my favorites, the Three Stooges short called False Alarms. This ought to be a lot of fun. I love the movie. It's really funny, and I believe this area has changed quite a bit. So let's go take a look. A little bit of speed trap action. Well, we're over here. Destination accomplished, and man, I can't wait to see this. I noticed a couple of things right off the bat that are different, and I think you guys will notice it too. Where we're going is right over here. Check out this musical instrument store. It's pretty interesting. Well, we are here, and right over on this side is where we would have seen in False Alarms. This is where the fire station would have been. Where we would have seen the guys rolling out that massive fire hose and they were running it through that little washer.
Hey, let's get this over with and I'll ask the captain to let us off tonight.
Yeah, we're invited to Maisie's house to a birthday party.
Oh, boy.
Plenty of pig's knuckles smothered in garlic.
Ha!
She's got a couple new girls for us to meet, too.
Oh, a blind date, eh?
She ain't blind. She may be a little hard of hearing.
Yeah.
And we see the fire hose get rolled right out into the middle of the street. And one of the first things that you'll notice from the movie is that there were train cars. Back when they filmed this, I believe this was like their 16th or 17th picture, they had train cars running up and down this street. And this is, it's changed quite a bit. You actually do see in the short, you'll see some of that ivy over there, and this whole intersection right over there. And you'll see Curly walking back and forth across this street, and that's where the train car ends up running over top of the fire hose. As Curly's trying to walk back with it, and where that says Bluebird right over there, that would have actually been a tailor back then. The streets across the street definitely have changed. This is the intersection of Larchmont and Melrose.
Don't disturb the rest of them, they're asleep. Come on, if that captain sees us, we're through. Roll them up and get them hid. Hurry up now.
And you'll actually also notice that where that little kind of stone marker is right there, that would have been where the divider would have been for the train car, and you actually would have had something very similar in this shot when they were filming this. Now, where the antique store is right across the street, that would have actually been a bakery in those days. And then right here on the corner, where this place that says Artworks is, kind of right there on the corner, that would have actually been a drugstore that had a drugstore sign there. And the building straight ahead, that was not there, that was a different building. They actually have just finished that building. They've just just finished. I mean, literally there's still signs up saying who did the contracting on it, so we know that that is not original. And the building right next to it, I can't tell if that one's original or not, because in the short there was actually a big awning draped across there. But this is just such a fantastic movie. This is where they actually are playing firemen who never show up for the fire, so they're warned by the fire chief that if they mess up one more time, that they're done. And of course, this is where they end up. We see them first washing the hoses. Like I said, both hoses roll out into this street across the train tracks, and we see a train car come by and cut them a couple of times, and then we see Curly almost get hit by a car. Right here in this intersection. But then later on in the movie, there's a part where Curly is trying to go on a date, and the heavy girl in this group of 3 women that he goes to doesn't have a date, so she wants him to get him a date, or get her a date. And so his solution is he calls the guys, of course, and they say they can't come because they'll get in trouble, so Curly calls in a fake fire, and we actually see them take off out of this entrance again. And this is all changed. You can tell they've just built this apartment building here, because in the movie you actually see kind of a little mini driveway that would have led you to believe there was a house right here. You can't really see the house. And then the same thing over here. Right here on this intersection, you would have seen a little one of those driveways that has the patch of grass dividing it where the tires go across. But wow, so cool. I hope you guys enjoy this. And it was really easy to match up a lot of the shots for this. This is such a classic. I've always had an affinity for the Three Stooges movies. In fact, out of the black and white comedy groups that we all know, like the Laurel and Hardy and Abbott and Costello and the Marx Brothers, the Three Stooges are my favorite. I think they are the funniest. I even enjoy the Shemp years a lot. And this is just one of those shows that when I was a kid, from like the grade 1st through 3rd, my mom's sister and I lived in an apartment building, and I would always wake up at the same time every day, and I would get ready for school, and I would have just enough time to watch 1.5 shorts of the Three Stooges before I had to run out and catch the bus. So I've probably seen everything, and I loved everything. There you go. Filming location for False Alarms. Now there is actually one more little chunk over here that was filmed on Larchmont for this movie. They filmed quite a bit over here actually, because believe it or not, this is not even a mile away. If you take this right on Melrose and the immediate left, that's Gower. You take that maybe a minute or two and you're at where Columbia Studios was. So they filmed a lot of the Columbia Studios pictures for the Three Stooges on Larchmont. And I'll probably in the future be back here showing you other filming locations from Three Stooges stuff, but this was one I was actually watching on a collection I have the other day, and I got curious and was like, I wonder where that was filmed. That definitely looks like a real intersection. Maybe it was around here somewhere, and sure enough it was. They have a lot of speed traps over here today. I actually have to go a few blocks away from here, but I'm not looking forward to it if they have this many speed traps. And then throughout the movie you see them kind of racing around town. A lot of those were filmed, scenes were filmed on La Brea, like La Brea and 3rd Street, but some of them were actually filmed right here as well. And I'll match that photo, or that little section up for you, because you can see where it's still divided by the streetcars. See, these are the kind of houses that used to exist on this street. Even the Hollywood Realty Company kind of has that look. What do you think that old-timey sign used to say? This is definitely an old classic building. Somebody painted in almost stained glass looking versions of Star Wars characters. Surprisingly, one of the few things I am not into. Never got into the Star Wars thing. And then somehow, right here smack dab in the middle of everything, you have this Victorian style mansion kind of deal. And here you can still see where you still have the dividers down the middle of the street. And this place is widely considered to be one of the better pizza places out here. And you may have seen this in an episode of Entourage. The guys eat here at Larchmont Pies, the Village Pizzeria. Now online, they say the address for our next location is right here, but there's absolutely no way because there's no street dividing right here. So it's definitely not 200 North Larchmont. I believe it's 300 North Larchmont, so let's go take a look up there. Now right here is where I believe the actual intersection is when we see the guys out doing their chasing scene all over town. I actually believe that this building right here, this Cleaners on the corner of Beverly and Larchmont, I think this was the Charles X. Folsom Modern Motors Maintenance service station that they drive past. What do you think? Because you can clearly see a road like that. You can clearly see that road in the shot when they come flying around the corner and you see the train car tracks and the train car coming right here. We see the guys make a right down this street. Well, speaking of harpsichords, how are you guys enjoying that Arthur Lee vlog from yesterday? He was one of the first people to ever use a harpsichord in rock music. He used it in Stephanie Knows Who. One of my favorite things about vlogging, and I know this is kind of like a goofy little jokey thing, but I love when I see just one little random thing that I want to get like 2 seconds of, and somebody's walking towards me. I always turn around once I've passed them because I want to see, and 99% of the time they do it, they always look over to see what I was filming, why I stopped. There's one of those little free libraries. Oh, and Larchmont, in the time that I've been walking around here, I have seen nothing but dentist offices and oh cool, dentist offices and Pilates studios. Sometimes I'm out walking around and it just, times like this, I just think to myself, I can't believe I live in Los Angeles. And I get a little depressed about it because the first thing I think of is I'm like, God, I think of all the projects. That's interesting. I think of all the movies and all the TV and commercials and stuff that I'm not making, that somebody else is making, or that I'm not even going out for, and it's kind of depressing sometimes. It's one of the good things about vlogging is it keeps you feeling like you're doing something, keeping you active and keeping you seeing stuff, but man, lots of things being filmed out here that I'm not a part of. Far too many. Wow, that's one honey of a cactus, isn't it, folks? I gotta get ready to go to work, and this guy just plops down for a sun bath. He's been doing that a lot lately. I mean, we are out walking for about 2 or 3 minutes, and all of a sudden he finds a patch of grass and he just lays down and will not move. Even if I pull the leash, he doesn't want to move. You know how earlier, actually like at the beginning of the vlog, I told you I forgot I had to work today and that they had sent me my work assignment? Yeah, I didn't forget that I had to work. I never agreed to work. When I came here, they're like, oh, so you're filling in for so-and-so? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. They just sent me this email last night saying that I was assigned to work this. So I think they just scheduled me, and if I couldn't do it, they were just assuming I would reply back and say, hey, I'm already booked somewhere else or something. But that's a weird way of scheduling me. But I guess it works out because I wasn't doing anything else. Even though it is not off Hollywood Boulevard anymore, they've kind of moved the way the driveway runs. This was the first, or the oldest, remaining mansion off Hollywood Boulevard, called the Lombardi house. That's where I'm working today. Now they use this for wedding receptions, but this was the horse carriage barn. I know I've shown you guys in another vlog before, but since I'm here today, I'll show you again today for some of you that didn't see that far back in my catalog. And like I mentioned in past vlogs, this was called the Lombardi house because the family that lived here, the Lombardis, for years and years, were big vocal teachers in the entertainment industry for years. And John Travolta was one of their prized pupils, probably worked on Grease while he was studying with them here. And this is the house I mentioned to you guys in the past that when the people who own it now bought it, they inherited like a piano, a big L that signifies Lombardi, and a handful of signed 8x10s from John Travolta's career. Well, that is the Lombardi piano that John Travolta would have taken voice lessons on. Probably Grease.